Hey guys, and welcome to a fight between the brave elvish forces of the Knights of Caledor up against the men of Sigma. I'm playing, of course, the Knights as a Rubber Ducker War, and we're up against J Raptor the Mighty. Should be a good fun showdown. Let's hop in here and have a little quick look at the builds. So for our forces, we have Rangers dotted through the front line. These guys are relatively cheap, dual-wielding sword infantry, should be able to carve their way through state troops with deadly efficiency, or at least I hope so. In the back, we do have one unit of the Everqueen's Court Guard, Regiment Renowned Sisters of Avalon. A little bit worried they're going to get shot by cannons and so forth, but my opponent goes for more of a cavalry-heavy build, which I was expecting him to do. These guys can certainly dish out the damage. On the right-hand side, we do have a combination that we're trying out of Silver Helms combined with the War Lines of Trace. Now, these guys packed together should, hopefully, be able to overwhelm most Empire Knights, Knights of Blazing Suns, and other such pesky units, and with the same contingent on the far left-hand side. For our leadership core, we have a Major Fire coming in with Burning Head, as well as Fireball and Flaming Sword of Rune, and then leading our forces alongside his elite bodyguard of the Fireborn, we have IMRIK, the mighty Dragon Prince, and this is honestly probably the coolest he looks in my opinion, riding dirty on his horse with its ridiculously badass and gangster armour. Coming in with Star Lance, Dragonhorn, as well as the Lord of Dragons. So pretty fun build, but what has my opponent brought? Oh yes, I'm sure it's caught your eye already. What in this build stands out the most? It's definitely the Flagellants in the front line now. What I'm talking about. It's the Steam Tank! The might of the Steam Tank is here! Really good actually up against High Elves in general, so I'm a big fan of this pick all round. A lot of people consider it a meme, but against High Elves, it's really struggled to take down. Front line, of course, though, is the Unbreakable Lunatics of Sigma, alongside the Sigma Sons. Secondary battle line, we have some Spearmen with shields, and their main job is going to be to protect these double Huntsmen and Handgunners in the central pocket of this formation. Our opponent has been a little bit sneaky here. We've got some Empire Knights hidden in the trees, and I do not have a clue that they are here. They can dance and kind of bounce out at anything that is trying to get into the back line. Really like that play quite a bit. We also have an Amber Wizard here, the Manticore Summon and Flock of Doom, and Volkmar the Grim rolling dirty on his big old wagon here, looking ferocious as always. I love his little horn he has come out. I'm assuming it booms his voice a little bit louder, so you can sing the praises of Sigma as the battle does unfold. Our Major Fire is going to be getting a little bit eager here, pushing ahead of the army, looking to try and get a Burning Head down the line somewhere. And the Steam Tank has opened fire on our poor little war lines, so we're going to be hiding behind this rock here. We're pulling like a Pride Rock or something for the lines, just to hide behind and try and absorb the damage. Looks like the Steam Tank is going to be changing targets now after that Fire Wizard, and actually catching the Mage quite well there. We're going to be trying to retaliate with a Burning Head down the line. Not the best cast, but we're trying to catch 2 units in one go. Very good micromanagement though by my opponent, managed to dodge out the way. Sigma Sun's pushing forward, Flagellants moving backwards. That was an overcast. It looks like we miscast and have taken a cannon shot to the face, so our Major Fire is getting danger low before the battle's even started, and our own Burning Head is actually going to go through our Rangers here, so really not a good day so far for us. We're now going to engage in the front line, and that will hopefully be going a little bit better, although the Handgunners and Huntsmen have no start to open fire on the front lines, which may turn the engagements in the favour of the men of the Empire. On the left-hand side, we've been sneaky with our War Lines as well as our Silver Helms, trying to wrap around where possible. We're doing that on either side, desperately trying to shut down the Huntsmen and praying that our cavalry can charge in the front line. You can see the Fireborn cycle charging their way through, trying to break down the enemy, although Volkmar is on the similar idea as well, running over our Rangers here. War lines are being pushed through this tiny little gap in the defences, hopping on top of the Huntsmen, looking to rip and tear them asunder. These guys have some awesome attack animations. Oh my god, these poor Huntsmen. How the tables have turned. However, the Empire Knights do come charging out of the forest and slam into the Silver Helms, getting the charge. I'm trying to move the war lines over there to support, but it is a little bit too late. That engagement now going very badly. One big boon for me so far is the Sisters of Avalon are completely free-firing into the enemy. Going to be using them to focus on that Steam Tank, doing big burst damage where possible. Fireborn rolling in the front line, so be careful. There is a Spearman here and a Flock of Doom coming down. They're going to be bouncing around though between engagements, trying to get good value where possible. Likewise, we have some Silver Helms in the back line now, reaving and destroying the Handgunners. It looks like the Huntsmen have been forced off as well. Mighty old IMRIK is currently popping all of his good old buffs, going down, trying to take these Spearmen. War lines jumping in the back as well, looking to try to break the morale by simply overwhelming my opposition. The Silver Helms do have the Dragonhorn popped on them right now, so they're really getting dug in deep into these Handgunners, where the Steam Tank is now firing in. So once again, the Sister Avalon are just piling on the pressure. And it looks like those Empire Knights and Spearmen have now chased off a lot of my routing troops. Need to come back and get aggressive, push in onto the Sisters, and try to shut them down. We've got some Rangers protecting the back line as well. Rangers in the list here, going to be doing a relatively solid job here, up to 45 kills, not too shabby. Big fat banishment though comes down, breaking off our Rangers as well as our War Lines. Lovely cast there coming in by Raptor. Volkmar the Grimm's in here, popping all his buffs. Grand Shield of Faith, Grand Hammer of Sigma, doing a pretty solid job, but he is surrounded now by the Fireborn as well as IMRIK, and IMRIK can certainly give it to him on the best of days. Everqueen's Court Guard are going to have to give up their pursuit of the steam tank for now. There's just too many enemies in the way. So we're going to be trading fire with the Huntsman, trying to push them off the field. And it looks like those Empire Knights not too happy about that. So they're going to be pushing quite aggressively towards the Sisters. So to counterpunch this, we're bringing over the Firebomb. 24 Elves, certainly a match there for the 38 Empire Knights. We're looping up and around, baiting them in, and then going for the kill. However, Raptor seems to be a pretty solid player, not considering this trade whatsoever. He's actually going to pull back through his Spearman, trying to drag my Firebomb in there. We're going to have to circumvent and still try to get to grips with these guys where possible, but they are fleeing towards spear support. Good to see. Everqueen's Court Guard, once again, continue to pour fire in to that steam tank where possible, though switching fire to the Empire Knights now, realising that if I can take away my opponent's mobility, these Sisters could indeed carry. In the back lines, War Lines have managed to surround the steam tank. We're going to be doing a fat fireball in there as well from the Major Fire. Trying our best. This is really industry versus environment, I suppose. With the Polo War Lines trying their best. 600 health on the steam tank, though. Still going strong at the moment. IMRIK has been able to push off those Empire Knights with the support of the Sisters of Avalon. But there is a summoned Ferromanticore looking to swoop in and shut down the ladies. Coming in here, doing some nice damage on the charge. We're going to have to take our Silver Helms back and try and just distract it as long as possible. Maybe rampage it and save the Sisters, because they're pretty big on our win condition. Balance power is against us at the moment and looking a little bit bleak as all our Rangers and War Lines flee for their lives. We do have 20 Fireborn left standing though, and they're going to be swooping back in, looking to shut down some of the enemy characters. There's a 1v1 duel going on, and it's the pride and arrogance of the mighty IMRIK against the devoted Volkmar the Grim. Lord of Dragons has been popped on him though, making his melee attack and melee defense 0, which is insanely powerful. IMRIK coming in with his horse, looking to poke that Warrior Priest in the bum. That Warrior Priest got some really bad rep actually, kind of sitting there. Not a good day for him. Everqueen's Court Guard are just about surviving. We've had to commit Fireborn and Silver Helms, who are currently terrified of, to try and bog in and distract the Manticore, but if we can force it off the field, I think we'll be in relatively decent straits. The War Lines are popping in as well, shoving down the Sigma Suns and Flagellants here. Another banishment coming down on the Everqueen's Court Guard. They've been well placed so far by Volkmar, but we're able to pull out there, just about survive, and it looks like the Silver Helms and Fireborn are rallying up to the cause of IMRIK, who once again going after that Volkmar booty, charging in and trying to destroy him. Grand Hammer of Sigma and Shield of Faith is up and active, but with the Sisters now free and completely free to fire into Volkmar, all of a sudden that balance of power just flips on a dime and army losses starts to set in. My god, we are beat up. Looks like the Spearmen not quite going to make it to the fight. We're even going to pop a fireball over to them just as a bit of a metaphorical middle finger to the Spearfolk. And we just have some of the Unbreakable troops left standing. We take an overview of the rest of the battlefield. We have Everqueen's Court Guard with basically no ammo, a couple of very beat up Cav and War Line units, and a full health IMRIK, and that's it. Very close game, well played. That is going to be a Pyrrhic victory for sure. Let's see these War Lines in action though, just mauling, coated in blood. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are destroying those nasty humans. So, go to the end there, and yeah, Pyrrhic victory as expected. Very well played to J-Raptor. We had quite a few fun games the other day, and I thought this one was a good standout game. Now, J-Raptor is indeed a YouTuber, so if you are into Armour and other such games, he does some Total War mods for them as well. Feel free to check him out. I'll drop a link down below in the description. But anyway, how did it go? Well, all round, pretty good. I mean, considering we got the victory. The War Line and Silver Helm combo absolutely flopped on one flank, but on the other flank performed really well. I was certainly expecting a bit more heavy cavalry, so it's not the best use of this synergy, but at the same time, if it works, it works. Fireborn as well, coming in with a mighty 120 kills. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We will, of course, get to the damage value and damage stats in just a second. But if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe as well for future Total War Warhammer content. And what was your favourite moment? Who was your favourite character, unit? Who was the MVP? Let me know down below in the comments. And I hope you guys have had a really fantastic day. In the description as well, you can find links to my Patreon, as well as to my Discord, where you can submit replays, get involved in the Total War community, play in events that I host, all that kind of good stuff, and keep up to date with the channel in general. But on to the good stuff. IMRIK the Mighty, how did he do? 2.9k damage value, and pretty much still full health with loads left to give. Now, if you are going to beat IMRIK to a competitive game, I think he is certainly best on horseback. It gives him that mobility. He still hits really hard. Yes, he is squishy, but he is nowhere near as risky as on top of his mighty dragon. So I like him in this mode in particular, but also I think the horse looks very cool. Major Fire did okay, missing those burning heads, but coming with some relatively clutch fireballs onto the steam tank, and has been a general support character, and the Rangers, nothing too crazy. 600 damage value on this one with 100 kills, but the rest all underperformed. The Everqueen's Court card really did hold me down. 2.4k damage value, getting rid of that steam tank was so pivotal, because apart from IMRIK, I didn't really have anything else which could bring it down, and IMRIK needed to be dogging Volkmar wherever he went, otherwise he would simply destroy all my build. One unit of Silver Helms performed really badly, only 123 damage value. They get jumped by those sneaky Empire Knights from the forest. But the other unit, 1.5k damage value, Fireborn 1.4. Really nice play with both of those guys. And the Wolves, or the Lions I should say, not Wolves, 1,000 damage value on the one on the right-hand flank. The other one faring a bit worse with 500, but still being a quick unit which can push into the back line. As for J Raptor's forces, a very big wide stack, which is good to go quite often in the current meta, I think. Steam Tank, 1.6k damage value, doing a pretty solid job. Empire Knights as well. I like the play of just keeping them behind in those woods. I don't know why I didn't expect it, but they did manage to keep his backline firing a little while longer, but the Huntsman really struggled. 68 damage value here, 400 and 240 on the Handgunners. His backline not really paying the price that they should do. As for the Unbreakable front line, not the craziest damage value, but it held back my troops for a very long time. Likewise, so did the Spearman, and the Amber Wizard came with a really nice Manticore summon. Volkmar the Grim, 1.1k damage value, but he was really shut down by IMRIK, which is good to see that IMRIK does actually have some application, and I think in this matchup, he can be very potent and deadly. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.